know what the content is to be, what is the specific value purpose?
Yes, we do. We feel strongly that the state election coordinator, his opinion was not accurate, that what Memphis City Schools did as a body is on point, and we feel that stalling the election is inappropriate. So we're going to ask for a quick filing to ask a judge to make a ruling pretty quickly so we can go ahead and move forward with the election.
Don't let it be on.
I'm sorry?
Don't let it be on.
And we have no choice. Whoever they appoint, that's who we'll take. And we believe that they'll be fair.
You know how fast someone like that can go, Deidre, and how fast, I remember you had an indication of how quickly we can get the wheels rolling this matter.
In talking to our attorney earlier today, the lawsuit will be filed, and our hope is that we'll be before a judge by Wednesday or Thursday. We'll probably file it in Chancery.
My question is for Mr. Flinn on his petition. Then he's saying that petition is for the citizens of Memphis only.
Yes, sir. It's important to remember that this issue, it's been called a merger, it's been called a consolidation. Those are incorrect terminologies.
Right.
Despite the practical effect, the reality is it's a matter of self-determination for the people of Memphis. If you have a special school district, it comes with an extra tax as the two-year funding dispute with the city council and the Memphis City School Board approves. The citizens of Memphis have the ultimate voice on whether or not they are taxed that way. We're talking about changing the laws for special school districts. If the municipal system in Germantown or Collierville wanted to set one up for that and pay their way on that, I would have no opposition to that. But I do have an opposition of them coalescing together to form a group that sucks the greatest resources out and denies it to the greatest number of people. That is objectionable to the highest level.
How do we get to sign the petition?
Mr. Commissioner Jones has a copy right there. Anyone is welcome to sign it. We have other people getting out, but we are very confident we have the appropriate number of signatures and then some.
Do you anticipate any problems with the election commission questioning the 25 voter petition drive? I mean, do you think they're going to challenge that?
I think it would be very difficult if it's explicitly spelled out in the statute that is the requirement. This is not a normal referendum that would require some percentage of a previous election. In the legislature, and their wisdom on the special school district stuff, wanted to make it a low bar because it did come with double taxation on the citizens, and they wanted to give the citizens the ability to opt out.
I want to expand this a little bit. Maybe Representative Hardaway, you might be able to answer this question for me too. I know that there have been allegations and concerns, certainly that you can go back to the August elections, of potential problems with our elections commission, and as you said, problems as far as perhaps what happened in Nashville. Even up to the Secretary of State, as a former Republican state representative from Parliament. Are you looking at doing anything there, calling for any investigations there? Do you feel that there was anything underhanded done, or does this basically boil down to incorrectness, in your opinion?
Well, it depends on who's involved at what stage. And I am pursuing investigations, and I'll leave it at that. But I will say to Mr. Giannini, to let the people be heard, stop blocking the vote. Let the people be heard. And a simple message for Mr. Pickering. Sit down with the Memphis City Schools and begin your contingency transition plan. The children deserve no less. Sit down and begin planning for a contingency, which I will say will happen. The people will be heard eventually. This will go to a vote, and you'll see that we've entered a new era in Memphis and Shelby County. And this will transcend education. I think you'll see a spirit of cooperation. I think you'll see a spirit of pride, whereby the Memphis, Collierville, Germantown, Arlington, Bartlett, Wilmington, all of the cities within the boundaries of Shelby County will start feeling like big Shelby. They'll feel like one county. Let's get this done. So Mr. Pickler, sit down and begin the process for a transition. If it happens, you're ready. The children won't suffer a disruption in their educational process. If it doesn't happen, you've made considerable progress in working with the largest system in the county, trading best practices, getting a cooperative spirit that may translate into some efficiencies and effective means of delivering education. So let's stop the rancorous rhetoric and begin to sit down and plan. Everyone should start doing their job. Start doing their job. And I'm going to end again by asking Mr. Giannini, do your job to conduct a fair, impartial election in a timely fashion.
Yes.
One thing I'd like to say is that there's some elected officials who couldn't be with us today. The chairman of the city council is with us. Commissioner Henry Brooks is with us. Commissioner Steve Malone. I just wanted to mention that. And I would be remiss if I didn't ask a former school board commissioner, civil rights leader, who has believed and fought for education all her life, to come forward and say a few words to us today. Maxine Smith.
It's a pleasure to have been asked to be with these wonderful people. People that I have been allied with a lot older than most in thought, if not in body. That's right. First of all, I want to commend those school board members standing right here, by Tanika. Okay, it is involved. But all five. You know, 35 years ago, we tried to vote to surrender the child. We couldn't get the 4 votes because some of us were few racist and some of us wanted to hold on to those new positions. We thought it was so great. And it just amazes me. What the heck did I say, man, how they all come out of the wall now. They know darn well, like those Giovanni said, or Venice, whatever his name is, and the Pickles, man, there was a whole lot of rush, you know it. Everybody was working. But they come out of the wall now because they know we are right and they know we're going to win. And it would lead to our disgrace if we don't. I think the last election we had in our city, less than 2,000 people gave out the vote. That's a travesty on the grave of Martin Luther King and so many others who have gone before us to make a fair election all right for us. It's nothing to be afraid of. Those people know they have no power. Those Picklers of old didn't even question it because they know they didn't have the 4 votes and they didn't have to worry about it. The election commission didn't even try to get in. Shea City Council didn't try because y'all know y'all didn't have no place in it. This is the school board's business and our business to get behind them to do what's right. If I knew anything about money, which I don't, I'd remind us, we'll have some of our finance folks tell us this could be death for our city schools. If the county decides to get more money in here, if the county blocks all the money in this county of Shelby, most of which is made within the city of Memphis. So it's so many facets to this. There's so many reasons we got to get out here. People get me sick. I'm for the children. I'm for the children. Those who couldn't be for the other issue, tell them this is about the children. So I thank God to be with each and every one of you this morning. And I feel so good. Smitty told me that, Mama, you too old to be getting out here. I said, boy, get out about here. Because it's something I got to do until I die on that. I got to do.